Hello.
Hello.
Hi, hello again.
And welcome to the second episode of 2GeekyGirls.
We are two girls and we are geeky, and this is Lady Valentine.
And this is Ivy Black. Hello. First of all, we're going to talk about what we're wearing today. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I am in Arkham Asylum Poison Ivy. This costume is the bane of my life.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. I'm going to be wearing this at Comic-Con next week, so I'm going to talk about that again in a minute if you want to come down and see us. I haven't got my vines on my face yet. They're still a work in progress. I think I'm going to go for something similar to this that I can liquid latex onto my face. It's not perfect yet. It still hasn't got all the little details on, like the little leaves and the ones that stick out. Back of the pants aren't done yet, so I won't be turning round. It was really hard to find a body stocking that didn't have a seam running down the middle, so if anyone knows where I can get hold of one of those, let me know. Also, it didn't have a crotch, so I had to stitch up the hole at the beginning. She's doing this for the hearing impaired at home. I've gone through about... I know it may be hard to believe at the moment, but I've gone through about 3 different attempts to get this right. I think if I had to do it again, because this is a puffy paint, I think it's called PBO, it's really good. I'd probably put it on the underside of the stocking so that it was pushing up through, because it's all right. I think I'll probably paint over it a little bit, dab over it to make it a bit more natural. But I'm quite pleased with it. Like it. Let me know what you think. And go!
I am the orange boiler suit version of Harley Quinn. I've kind of put my little own spin on it with, the Injustice top and the gloves from Arkham City. And it was what I had lying around. It's really comfortable. It's so comfortable. It might get a little bit cold, but it's fine. But my favourite part of this is I'm allowed to wear my boots.
Look at those. Those are amazing. Hang on, wait. Just like... listen to the noise. It's beautiful.
The boots are very heavy.
They are.
But other than that, it's a very simple costume.
I think yours is good because if you do get cold, you can just undo that and put it back on. And then you might get, mistaken for an actual convict, if you were in America.
I think this is the cheapest costume I've ever put together. I think it, all in all, cost me, not including the boots.
Aren't you going to be wearing this?
I will, on the Friday of...
it's the 22nd?
22nd, MCM London Comic Con. I will be there in this. I will also be there with the lovely Ivy Black here. We are doing lots of different costumes each day. We're also doing a Batman one. So we've got the Uma Thurman and the Alicia Silverstone.
We are Batman the movie.
The movie.
Think Tim Burton. Everything's going to be crazy.
Everything has nipples.
Suits with nipples and massive eyebrows.
And I'd just like to thank Hero Wears for making my body armour for me. Absolutely amazing. We'd also like to thank someone who we are now affiliated with, new into the cosplay scene, very well known in the LARP, but very new in the cosplay scene, is Crystal ANVIL. Please look him up. He's amazing with leather work and just LARP. He did the big Harley hammer, did a competition a while ago, don't know if he entered it or not. Absolutely brilliant guy. He's going to be giving us some of his books to give away soon. Isn't
it like 5 copies or
5
something
of
like
each
that?
copies.
5 lucky people getting to read up on his armoury and stuff like that.
And now we'd like to talk about some charity. I'm going to be at LFCC with Gotham Cosplayers UK.
Gotham!
There we are going to be raising money for Baby Lifeline. This is a very important charity, and I can't stress how much they need our help.
Cute,
so if you come there, you'll be able to buy prints of us from there. There'll be a competition for the Square Enix Harley Quinn. That'll go into a raffle. You'll buy a ticket, and the winner will be announced at the end of the show. Not this show, obviously, the end of LFCC. So you can take it away that day. They'll also, if we can organise it, if you go to one of our sister stands, there will be a raffle for the Square Enix Joker as well.
That's really cool. So we've got kind of a...
If you are going to be at... I'm sorry, pizza got given to us, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, it's happening. Oh. Yeah.
If you're going to be at MCM, come and find us, we will be there. We'll be running around with a camera as well.
We are going to be interviewing people. It's going to be a special Comic-Con special. A special Comic-Con special. So special, it's special twice. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Food porn.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you, Magic Hand.
Yes, thank you, Magic Hand. Anyway, it's going to be like a diary. We're going to be speaking to people. If you're wondering whether you're going to miss us, look for someone dressed as Uma Thurman.
Or Alicia Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
With the nipples back down.
Good girl.
And on to the next bit. Now for the toy bit. We're going to talk about the little pop in a box. They're very, very cute. You've got the bobblehead, haven't you?
Yeah. No, wait.
Mine got sent in by Kyle Eaton. Thank you for this. This is very much appreciated. And Jessica Lowe sent these in. Absolutely amazing. Who had sent yours in?
Mine got sent in by Amy with an I.
Amy with an I.
I don't know how that works, but it does.
Amy. Whammy sounds French. Can make it one of those. I absolutely love Pop. I absolutely do. These Pop figures are amazing. The only thing I don't like about mine, she's got blusher on the box, but not on another doll. This actually upsets me.
Aww.
But otherwise, the Pop figures are amazing. I have so many of these. So feel free to send more in. We absolutely love them. I know for Christmas, I got the same Pop from a Charlie McIntyre. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to pop my little...
Looking at mine, she's got little tiny buttons. And I think that is the cutest thing in the world. It's so cute. I wanted one of these for ages.
Oh, we do have something else that's been sent in.
Oh. Yes, we do. I'm just going to, Didn't do anything. Thank you. Pizza?
This is actually a bit of artwork that was done for me. By a an absolutely amazing girl called Kiz. I love her to bits for doing this. This is amazing. It's sort of my name at the bottom.
Let's see it.
It's actually my name as well.
That's really pretty.
Really pretty.
It's really well done. We're gonna have to get like a board or something at the back.
Put that on to
display things proudly. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to stand at the back holding it.
And thank you so much for personal art. This is amazing. I absolutely adore this. This is gonna go up in my bedroom, personally, on the wall.
That's so sweet.
It is. I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you so much for sending that in to us.
And it's all your favourite colours
and it
too.
Is. It's all Harley Quinn related. I love it. Thank you very much for this.
Hi.
So yeah, if anyone's interested, there's a few more Pops that we haven't got.
Yeah.
Just saying, just putting that out there.
You know, it kind of bothers me that it says Pop Heroes and it should say Pop Villains instead.
Yes.
There's something else I want to talk to you about toys as well. I'm going to bang that down. You didn't hear that, but it was really loud and angry. Basically, right, for those of you who don't know, Black Widow is kind of my thing as well. I know it doesn't look like it at the moment, but it will become apparent. It's not a spoiler because it's all over the trailer, so you've seen it, but there's a big part of the movie. There's a scene that Black Widow has where she drops out of the Quinn jet on a motorbike and looks badass, you know, in all her levers, and she goes tearing around between, going vroom vroom, ride your Harley. And she's like driving round, picking up Captain America's shield that he's dropped, and she says, "Oh, I'm always picking up after you guys." But basically, two toy companies in particular have removed her from her own scene in her own movie. Captain America is known for having a motorbike. He was riding it in the first opening 5 minutes. It's not going to be a big secret. He does it a lot of the time. But then he renders the motorbike useless by throwing it at a bad guy. So he doesn't have the motorbike anymore. But for the Hasbro edition of the Quinjet, it comes with a little motorbike that's meant to fire out of it, kind of. But the rider isn't Black Widow, it's Captain America with his shield on the front of his bike. So he wasn't in that scene. But then, for the Mattel version, they've got Iron Man dropping out on a motorbike.
He doesn't need it.
And that is the part that really annoys me, because Iron Man doesn't need a motorbike. He is a flying motorbike, powered by arc reactors. He can go anywhere he wants in the world. He doesn't have a motorbike in any of the movies.
Well,
They were so angry. They didn't want to put Scarlett Johansson
we've upset
in
Ivy
her
Black
own
now,
scene.
we are going to move on
with
to
her
the next
motorbike.
We're going to move on now. Move on to the next
No,
section.
we will not.
After upsetting Ivy Black. We are now going to talk about movies. Specifically in June. The first movie we're going to talk about is Jurassic World.
I know.
I am so excited about this because they've not tried to remake Jurassic Park.
It didn't go so well the last time. You'd think that after 3 movies, though, they'd kind of think, well, this whole thing putting dinosaurs in amongst man isn't really working out very well. A lot of people are dying. Maybe we should just open up like a petting zoo or something.
Well, they had the idea in the park to start with, right? Because they genetically engineered actual dinosaurs, but then the lady decided that the numbers were dropping and they needed a new attraction. So they did a hybrid dinosaur that was never meant to be.
They created an ungodly abomination.
Created a monster! And it just runs rampant. We've got that in our minds.
Rampant
Runs
beast.
wild.
Apparently there's a very special cameo in Jurassic World. If you remember the 2 really annoying kids from the very, very first movie who got chased by an awesome T-Rex, but to be honest, I don't really understand how it was able to chase them, because there was a massive drop down into the enclosure and magically it was able to step over the wall. But anyway, I digress. Apparently that exact dinosaur is returning for Jurassic World.
It's like an old biddy dinosaur.
I think they're going to put a name tag on it so that they can do like a flashback to you do some character progression to show they'll like have it sat like looking wistfully out over the sea, thinking on its youth, like with all wrinkles, and like with like a really slow soundtrack over it while he's like thinking on it. But apparently that dinosaur, not just any T-Rex, that dinosaur is going to be coming back, and I assume it's going to be chasing people if it's not too old to chase people.
But that is next month. We cannot wait for that. After we have seen it, we will do a review of that. Don't you worry, we will.
I've been told to introduce Ted 2, which is coming out soon. Loved the first one. Haven't seen a lot of publicity for the second one. Don't know whether that's because I've just been living indoors with the curtains shut. But have you seen...
All over trailers.
So basically it's everywhere and I just haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
I've written you a little bit.
Yeah, she's written me a detailed synopsis about the movie. Yeah, there are 2 lines. There is one line. It's 1 sentence. This time round, Ted, said Seth MacFarlane, is attempting to raise a child with his new wife. Don't know how.
There's a teddy bear and all.
There was some stuffing involved.
I'm not quite sure how that would work.
That just went over your head. But in order to do so, he must prove that he's a person.
Even though he's a teddy bear.
I don't... What?
This film is going to be amazing.
I mean, like an emotional journey. I'm like, I am a human being. Like that kind of thing. Or like, what? So that he can get on the birth certificate? Or... Yep. I'm sorry. Have you... what was your...
So, we will do a review on that as well when it comes out. Stay tuned for that in a couple of shows' time.
So, yeah, when we can be bothered going, basically.
we're going to go to our other section, our other media section, where we talk about things that are going to happen in films or character plays.
Things.
This is just our things.
The thing we're talking about today is Sheldon. Obviously not really called Sheldon in real life. I think he's called Jim Parsons. I'm going to call him Sheldon Parsons. Yeah, he's
got it. Well,
it's not for definite, but he said that he would like
to play
the Riddler. The Riddler.
How good would he be as the Riddler? What are your views on that?
I think
let us know in the comments.
It'd be kind of cute. I mean, I can see where he's coming from with the whole eccentric.
That's my riddle.
Yeah,
that's my riddle.
Batman.
That's my riddle.
I don't know whether he's being typecast a little bit there or not. I mean,
I quite like it.
I like it. It's as a young Riddler, that'd be good. But I think a really cool idea would be if they brought back Jim Carrey to reprise his role, but did it like in the what was that thriller he was in? Number 28 or 24 or 21, something in the 20s. It was like a horror movie. It was proper gritty murder story. He was quite scary. I think if they went for that kind of like look, like a lot of people like say stuff like, oh, get Willem Dafoe to be like the Joker and stuff.
Dafoe kind of the name.
But
in an MTV UK interview, he was asked if he would ever like to play any superhero, and he said he wouldn't like to play a superhero, but he would like to be a supervillain. And then in relation to that, he said he would very, very much like to play the Riddler. We would definitely like to hear your views on this. If you think he'd make an amazing Riddler, let us know in the comments below. If you think he would be better playing a different character, or who you think would be a good Riddler, we'd always like to know that as well.
And if you have a Riddler cosplay, feel free to send one in.
If you have a Riddler cosplay, we will do it.
If you look like Sheldon Parsons, send us your pictures in, to our private email thing. Suicide Squad.
Boom. There it is. That's what we are going to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming out with all their own cosplays on it. There's been a lot of hilarious ones over the Jared Leto. Jared Leto cosplays coming in thick and fast. People doing their own take on it. I thought they were pretty funny.
We will get you a picture for next week.
We will.
No, we won't, because we'll be at Comic-Con next week. We'll get you a picture for section 4.
Why don't we just splice some in besides?
We'll splice them in.
Anyway, do you want to talk about Harley? Because she's kind of your bag.
She's kind of my bag, yeah. When the lovely lady, someone's going to give me a name.
Margot Robbie
was cast after seeing Wolf of Wall Street, I was actually really happy about this. I thought she's definitely going to make a really good Harley. And then I saw the pictures and I was like, I can understand the hot pants because they were the original Suicide Squad hot pants.
Yeah, I think she's going to get a major wedgie
kicking
button those.
I can see those.
They're very high riding.
It's growing on me, the costume. It is really growing on me, and I'm hoping there is going to be a costume change just because it's Harley and she doesn't like to wear just one costume. The only thing I have a problem with is the boots. I mean, I love them. I would own a pair myself. But how high they are. You can't be kicking people's arse.
How impractical.
How impractical are those boots?
But, yeah.
We've had some absolutely amazing fan art. If you go on my page, it's up on my page there.
I saw it. That was really cute.
I know. It made me want to do.
Seeing that.
It made me want to do the actual. Maybe working on it now. Costume. But you will see that hopefully in an episode, me and Suicide Squad Harley. If you'd like to see that, let me know. If not, then I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about with Suicide Squad?
I'd like to talk about Killer Croc. First time I saw him, I looked at him. He looks like the Thing.
Yeah,
from Fantastic Four, especially now the Fantastic Four is being remade in black and white and grey. Apparently, when you watch the trailer, he looks like a big rocky blister.
He looks like a big thing.
He looks scary as
folk, if I saw that coming down the streets around me, like, Jesus Christ, they're like trying to flush it back down the toilet into the sewer, like, no, back you go. I heard that. Do you mind? I was
Do continue.
But he's being played by an African actor. I think that's a good idea. It's really good, but I've always had this idea that that's just classic you. I'm gonna dip my finger in your cream. There we go. I got some sprinkles as well. Yeah. Anywho, to get back on track, I think it'd be a really good idea to have a Russian Killer Croc. You know how they've because there's there is a really messed up illness in no, it's alright, you ever in Russia, because people are so poor in certain areas, even the crack addicts can't afford drugs, so they make this drug called crocodile. You may have seen it. If you look it up online, there are some sick pictures on Google. It's horrendous. But basically, by buying certain items from drugstores, like I think one of the ingredients is phosphorus. Please do not go out and make this. You don't want to turn into
She
Killer
doesn't know
Croc.
the recipe. She's just saying.
I'll put the recipe in the links below for you, just in case. But here's one we made earlier.
Phosphorus, bicarbonate of soda, bit of water, mix it up.
Some
I don't know the
sprinkles
recipe. I'm
if
just
you're
saying.
having your girlfriend round. Basically, they make their own version of, crack that's called crocodile, because the effects is it turns your skin into what looks like crocodile skin. Your skin literally rots and starts to, calcify, and it's kind of like gangrene. But literally scales and thick tumours like leather grow up all over you, and you see these people and the fingers are twisted and gnarled. It's kind of like it's horrible, but it's kind of like group hands. Yeah, just wait till really late tonight when it's dark and you're on your own, and then Google it. You're welcome. Just don't eat anything before you do. But I think if he's like this big guy, it's Killer Croc, and he's covered in all these lumpy scales, and he's obviously a bad guy, like a gangster, I think it would be really cool if he was like, a Russian gangster who's dosed up on so much crocodile throughout his life. He's literally mutated into this huge, like, crocodile-like monster. If they were going to put
That's a good idea. If they were going to completely take away who
Killer Croc is. Yeah. No, I was just saying that. I think it's a cool idea, because they've
like a spin-off movie.
They reinvented Bane with Tom Hardy.
They did.
And that's what I'm going for. Like if they did like a more realistic version of the characters.
Have you seen Will Smith's
his face? It's
picture?
just like, it's his shark tail face. He's like, oh, what am I doing here?
I don't know these people.
My feet
I don't want to be here.
I'm cold.
What's
going on? I don't fit in here.
Have you seen his hair as well? You either die a prince or live long enough to become Uncle Phil. What is going on there with the bald? I'm liking the bald, I'm just not liking them. Bum fluff.
What time is it?
It's question time! Right, we have some questions. One's from Gemma. What is your favourite Harley and Ivy character story? I like when, this is going to sound really bad, in the comic books, where they kind of have that little bit of a lesbian thing going on. And then Ivy goes, Harley, is that your hand? And then Harley goes, is that yours? And then Harley goes, are you going to get off me? And then Ivy goes, I'm on the bottom. And then the doorbell goes.
And then don't they do something about they want a burger or something? Have I just made this up in my head?
And then Mason's at the door, and he brings a bouquet of flowers, and Ivy runs past really quickly going, I can still save these! And Mason's like,
aww,
they've still got 2 or 3 days left, that's what the florist said. What's yours? What's your favourite? Anyway, what is your favourite Harley and Ivy character story?
My favourite was... I was always a big fan of the animated cartoon series.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember the very first episode where they kind of met when they were Harley was breaking into the museum to steal a giant diamond. And she said she wasn't going to give it to Mr. J, but you can tell she was totally going to give it to Mr. J. And then she gets rumbled by the security guards because Ivy's broken in as well to get some like plant toxins from the lab. And they end up having to help each other escape, and then they drive off in Poison Ivy's little pink car that's called Rosebud. This is from Paige. How did you first ever find out about Harley Quinn?
My first ever find out about Harley Quinn was a very long time ago. It's a friend of mine called Lloydie, actually. He was obsessed with the Joker, and got me into Batman. And that's when I sort of found my love of Harley. Harley and the Joker was just this match made in hell, and it was amazing, and I fell in love with that character ever since.
How did you first ever find out about Poison Ivy? My mum told me about Poison Ivy when I was like 6. Like, because I used to like dress up and stuff, like obviously not like this. And I also used to love Batman. Again, I told you, like the cartoon series. I always used to watch the Adam West one that used to be on TV, you know, where they had the thing that went like that. And we used to watch that with my mum and dad. Obviously back then I thought it was amazing. But she used to tell me about all the supervillains, and she used to call me Poison Ivy. So
Oh, that's so good. I love when parents introduce you to things like that. We've got another question from Tim. It's actually quite a good question. How did you get into all this? And the second part of the question is, how did you become so popular? We're going to answer the second question before the first bit. I don't really believe we are that popular to start with.
I can't answer that question because I'm not.
She is. Everyone loves Poison Ivy. It just comes with time. We've been doing this a while now. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more.
She has.
Shush.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe I'm that popular. But how I got into it was actually a fancy dress party. A Heroes and Villains fancy dress party, where I went as Harley Quinn. That picture is up on my site. It is an awful picture, but it was a good start. And how did you get into it?
Which was the which Harley Quinn was it that you did? Was it the original or was it
Arkham City?
Arkham City.
It was before the game came out, but you had all the game footage.
The kind of like I've done with the Arkham Knight Ivy. Yeah. Okay.
Spanned from there.
I got into this. The first cosplay I ever did was years back. I absolutely love the video game BioShock.
Oh,
And I love the splicers. And the first ever cosplay I made was a cosplay of the Baby Jane splicer. If you know who I mean, she's got like the black bob and the green ragged dress. She's basically a failed actress who's all messed up with splicing. So I went out and got a green dress from a charity shop and messed it all up and got the wig and did the makeup and got a bunny mask. I've got a picture up somewhere, I'll put it up. But
that'll be up soon.
It was okay for a first time. I am going to be revisiting BioShock in the future for cosplaying. So yeah, that was how I very, very first got into cosplay.
I'm sorry, I've just read the next question. This is from James. Harley calls the Joker pudding. What's your favourite pudding? I'm gonna have to say Black Forest Gatto all the way.
I'm gonna say man pudding.
Man pudding. And on that bombshell.
any kind of pudding really. As you can tell, I quite like food, especially pudding.
Pudding.
I haven't demolished to this yet because if I had, my makeup would be ruined. But yeah,
I've eaten most of mine. But yeah, thank you very much for the questions. If you have
interesting
any more questions, let us know in the comments below, or on either of our pages, or on the 2GeekyGirls page. You can find our pages on Facebook, and in all the links are in the below.
And now let's see what you guys at home have been dressing up as.
We did on our page, if you follow us, we asked for a few Suicide Squad related, very loosely related cosplayers. We've had 2 in, which is amazing. 2! For a second show, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. First of all, we've got the lovely Troy Cunningham. He is Bronze Tiger from it's the CW version, which is quite nice. This is John, and he's doing Deathstroke. Really good version of this. You'll be able to catch him at some Comic Cons that we're at as well. Come and get his picture taken with him. Can you please send us in your Riddler costumes, either to the 2GeekyGirls page or mine or Ivy's page, or even just comment below with a link to your page where we can see them. We will quite happily have any Riddler costumes you have. Mr. Enigma, we are talking to you.
How freaked out are you right now?
Have you seen the trailer? That's all I'm going to say. And heard the cat noise I make, which is an amazing cat noise, but it has now become a thing. It wasn't meant to become a thing. We didn't even know we were being filmed at that point. But now whenever someone answers the phone, they answer the phone with like... It wasn't meant to be a thing. It has become a thing. But if you'd like to see more of the said thing, we will quite happily do it for you.
Well, she will. If you want to send us some money, we'll set up a PayPal account. I understand there could be a niche market.
Could be a niche market.
Of thing. People who are interested in cats.
I want to see people's videos of that. Send in your videos of you doing that, and you could win a prize. This is the prize.
It will be a cat in the box that we have found wandering around in someone's garden.
You will be able to win 1 each of these absolutely marvellous belt buckles.
Oh.
If you send us in your video of you doing the cat noise, we will send you these prizes.
Or an interesting variant of the cat noise.
Interesting variant.
Like a cat remix
like a
video. The meow mix.
The meow
Something
mix.
like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Get creative. Win prizes. Thank you for watching. I have been Lady Valentine.
I've been Ivy Black.
And if you'd like to see more, like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.